So I'm joining you guys from New Delhi, and I'm a holistic nutritionist, US certified, been in this industry for almost 8 years, and being an author of holistic health. The main concern for me is to treat every disease with the right nutrition, and with addition to good lifestyle, good fitness routine, and most importantly, good mental and physical health. So overall, everything counts for a good nutrition. And though my clients are globally everywhere, in every country, but I'm based in New Delhi itself. May I know which city you guys are based off, the companies and the employees?
Sure, we would love to know people. Where are you guys joining from? And we are from Bangalore. I'm Pinkasha. I'm from Pascare, and we are based out of Bangalore. Would love for the other people to also tell where they are joining from. Thank you, thank you, Priyanshi, for your
Okay.
action. Yeah.
Myself, Dinesh Nagpal, I'm from Gurgaon.
Thank you,
As
Dinesh.
I am 72 plus, as regards gut health is there. My food habits are, I think I'll be able to discuss with Priyanshi later on, are one of the best food habits. I had never had any such problem related to gut as on date. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
But still wanted to learn.
Amazing. I think that's the secret. And you look great, Dinesh sir. Thank you for joining. Anyone else would like to share where they're joining from? We have some folks from Ahmedabad, Hyderabad, and Bangalore. Priyanshi, whenever you're ready, we are good to go. I think Manushala is controlling the slides. So if you want any help, me and Manushala are there to help you.
Perfect. So I think we are good to go. I believe now I am audible and visible too, if
Yes.
I'm right, right?
Yes. Perfect.
So let's just start with, I believe we have already participants joining, so we can get started, right?
Yes, please.
Okay. So okay, fine. So as we all know today, the main topic of concern is, and this is one of my favorite topic. It's gut health, and for me, gut health is the second brain. So today we will be talking about how nutrition for the gut health is important for the overall health. So I want Bani, can you hear me? To move the slides. Yes. So in each, so starting with the first slide, which is why gut health matters in our daily life, which is the link between your gut health and your overall health. So if I have to brief it in a simple way, um, that gut health not only focus on your mood, but also it has a huge emphasis on your energy levels and also on your immunity functions. When it comes to your gut health, we often eat for your stomach hunger, unknowingly knowing that gut health starves and survives on the regular food items which you eat, which includes your good gut bacteria and also your bad gut bacteria. So the moment you eat for your gut health, it has a direct emphasis on your mood. If you eat a healthy food, your mood is always uplifted. The moment you eat any unhealthy food, let's say some kind of a sugar stuff, so the moment you eat sugar, you will be happy, but that dopamine hit crashes in 90 minutes, give you an insulin spike, and after 90 minutes, either you will be having a lack of energy or you will crave for another kind of a unhealthy food. So your mood is directly impacted with the food you eat that survives in your gut because of the bacteria you are feeding it. Second thing which is connected to gut is your energy levels. When I say about energy levels, the people who have a good amount of energy definitely eat the right amount of food on a constant level, which gives them a constant amount of energy. On contrary, if you eat anything, maybe specifically if I talk about snacks, when it comes to any kind of a snacks, quick snacks or fried snacks or anything instant to eat, that energy will makes you feel more lethargic. And you have often seen you have kind of a sleepy pattern, low energy, low motivation. This is all is the impact of the food you are eating it. Because your gut is sending the message to your brain that you are eating wrong. So So your energy is going on a crash side rather than giving to energy to a good side. And lastly, most importantly, your immunity. Entire immune system survives on your gut health. If your gut has good gut bacteria, it will enhance the immunity system by sending the messengers to your immune system. If you have noticed, people who survive to different climate changes, to different kinds of weather conditions, and even are not diagnosed with kind of a flu, fever, virus, just because they have good immunity cells in their body. And the reason they have good immunity cells is because of the food they eat for you. So anyone whom you feel has good immunity, it's just because they're eating for their gut health and feeding to the good gut bacteria in the body instead of eating for the bad gut bacteria, which people do in the form of a processed food, artificial food, and a lot of other outside foods which are packed with a lot of harmful chemicals which will affect your gut lining. I hope this is clear for everyone. And if you have any doubts in between, you can ask me then and there. So if we go to the next slide, this is very important, which most of the people don't know, that your gut and your brain is connected to a vagus nerve. And if you can see in the slide, we have a vagus nerve, which connects your gut to your brain. So whatever you eat will have a direct impact on your nervous system because they both are connected with a single nerve, which is known as the vagus nerve. So if you eat anything good, your brain always work in a productive level. But if you eat something bad, that will definitely impact your gut and will affect your brain. So the brain boosting foods are already generated from your gut health. So your second brain is gut because the moment you eat food, if it's healthy, it will impact your entire body system, and those body systems are regulated from your gut health. So the gut brain connection is important to understand because the moment you feed anything in your body, it will directly impact your brain. If you want energy, you need to eat energy food so that your brain is in the active mode. But if you eat anything which is lazy, lethargic, or unhealthy, your brain will go in a very sluggish, lazy mode, and you will not be able to make right decisions at the right time. So the gut-brain connection is very important to understand, making gut as a second brain. Going to the next slide, can stress and emotions are a part of human body, but these stress and emotions also affect your digestive system. For example, you guys have noticed whenever you go for any kind of a presentation or next morning something important to come, you might have feel some kind of you know um, sensation in your stomach. You have a urge to use the washroom, or you have a weak stomach. That sensation is just because your emotions are connected to your stomach. So this is correlation. When you have a fear, when you have some kind of excitement, you automatically either lose your hunger or you automatically gain your hunger. So that shows how your mental state affects your digestive state. The moment you're happy, your hunger levels are different. Some people feel a lot hungry when they're happy. Some people just kills their hunger. Similarly, if you have a stress meetings, some people are not able to eat anything because your stress directly impacts your digestion system. The stress and emotions have a direct impact on your digestive system. If you go to the next slide, there are certain examples of poor digestive health. Mind these, like these are some common causes. There might be some other hidden symptoms also. But the major one, which most of the people feel, are the signs of a poor digestive health. Bloating. You might feel it's a common thing, but it's not. It's one of the dangerous thing in long term. Frequent bloating, gastric issues, constipation, diarrhea. These are the common issues of a poor gut digestive health. The moment you can't eat anything or digest anything, that means your digestive health is not in the right track. Similarly, if you feel fatigue after meal, when you eat meal, you should be feeling energetic. But instead, if you're feeling that you are lazy after eating, that means your digestive system is not in the right run. Because food is for energy, not for the laziness. So when you feel your food is not giving you energy, instead it's taking energy from you and you're feeling lazy after the food. That shows your digestive health is on the task. Lastly, It happens with so many people that the moment they eat food, they have a sugar craze, or they want to eat anything sugary, or they have kind of a fatigueness, or they can't able to focus after eating a meal. This shows the food they eat, either it's not absorbed properly, or it is not rightly eaten, or it's not digested well. Because when your body eats food, digested well, then it automatically gives the fullness sensation in your body. And that fullness sensation will lead to no craving. But often people eat a lot of desserts after meal. That means that their food is not digested well. So allow your food to get digested well, and then only think the right thing from your brain. So the moment you eat food, if it's giving you craving or kind of a sluggishness, that means your digestive system is not working at the right pace, because cravings are a part of nutrient deficiencies or other lifestyle issues, but not as a part of eating after meal. So these are some poor signs of digestive health. If you feel that you have any of these, then you must consider that your digestive system is not at a good pace. Now, moving to the next slide, these are the core components of our gut. Since gut is a very common, famous thing in these days, right? Everyone talks about gut health, but what is gut health? Gut is the interlining of your stomach. We all know we have intestines, big intestine, small intestine. And in those intestines, there are bacteria who are working for our body. These bacteria are working for your immunity, for your energy, for your mood, and for your overall health. And they are divided into two parts. One is good, one is bad. Like we categorize food as good and bad, similarly, we categorize bacteria as good and bad. Good bacteria feed on good food, bad bacteria feed on bad food. Very simple. Now, when it comes to good bacteria, they focus on your immunity system, they focus on your metabolism, they focus on your mood, your energy level. And bad bacteria, on the other hand, focus on your energy takers. Like they will make sure that you have cravings, they will make sure you have emotional issues, you have stress, you have anxiety, they feed on your depression part, and they make sure that the food is not digested well. So, if you feed good food to good bacteria, you have an efficient digestion and a proper nutrient absorption, leading to no more cravings, no more energy crashes. On the other hand, if you eat bad food, which includes artificial sweeteners, sodas, refined carbs, and processed food, they will lead to bad bacteria, resulting in again lack of energy, poor food absorption, and also you will have energy crashes, you will feel sleepy, fatigue, and lead to a lot of deficiencies, which include vitamin deficiency, mineral deficiency, which can further stage lead to a lot of further problems. So these are the core components when it comes to gut health. Moving to the next slide. Well, healthier gut can be made easy in your home, in your own kitchen, if you just focus on the four components, how to make a gut healthy. Number one, foremost is fiber. Why fiber? Okay, so when I talk about fiber, fiber is found not in your carbs. Fiber is not found in your sugary stuff. Fiber is not found in anywhere, not even the supplements. Okay, fiber is found in your original food, whole food, vegetables, fruits. So these are the form of fiber which you need to add in your daily life, because fiber creates a lining in your stomach lining, which when your stomach is lined by this fiber, then anything which comes into it that is not in the direct contact of your blood, it get digested well, and that viscous circle which is made by the fiber, make sure your blood sugar is at the normal level. You don't have a spike, and in your intestine, the food is digested well, nutrients are absorbed well, and then they go out to the body. So having fiber intake daily in your daily diet will feed on other cell bacteria to also make sure your immunity is at the right way. Second are the fermented foods. We all know what are fermented foods. So someone asked me, how much fiber should you have in a day if you have a bad diet? Well, fiber is, you have to have a balanced fiber, okay? So not more than, make sure you have at least 3 meals, and 3 meals, your fiber intake should be 30% of your meal. On an average, if I have to say, if you eat one handful of bowl of fruits and one handful of vegetables with small portion of whole grains, then your fiber intake is very well managed. So fiber in the form of any natural, not in a supplement, again I'm saying, because supplementation can be dangerous for person to person. But when you have it in the natural form, it's not dangerous for everyone. So fiber in the form of whole grains, fiber in the form of fruits and vegetables, fibers in the form of you know, seeds, husks, and there are a lot of options of having fiber. In a array is good. So at least two bowls of any kind of a fiber-rich food is sufficient for anyone who has a poor gut health. Overdose of fiber will make your stomach weak. So just make sure when you eat fiber, don't overdo on fiber. Make it in a consistent way and don't have one fiber like a lot of fiber in one day. Just have it in a moderation. So because excessive fiber will lead to a lot of further problems, resulting in diarrhea, weak stomach, and other problems. So yeah. Now talking about the next thing is fermented foods. Fermented foods, we being an Indians, we all know what are fermented foods. But if you don't know, the food which are not cooked and kept overnight, and then you eat it, that's the fermented foods. Example, hanji, dosa, mostly the South Indians, uh, buttermilk, because being having curd is like fermented. So anything which is curd based, fermented full night, like these are like kanji, dosas, idlis, these batters are made long ago. So these take time to get the bacteria out, come out of the food. These include the fermented foods. So we do a lot of fermented foods, and it's so easy, especially when you are in a country like India, you have a lot of fermented food options. In our local in North, we have pickles, we have buttermilk, we have kombucha, we have kanji, we have a lot of other options, idlis, which is very common. And even overnight soaked, sprouts are always good to have it. So anything which is soaked and made it in a fermented way is always good to have it. And curd is one of the easiest thing to have as a fermented food in your daily intake of the day. So yeah, including a lot of fermented foods are always good. Uh, and the third, the most important thing is reducing any kind of a sugar. When it comes to sugar, every sugar in the form of a packet, refined sugar, brown sugar, white sugar, any sugar is all bad. No sugar is good for you. But you can have sugar in the form of natural sugar, like honey, cherries, and date, even stevia. These all are really good when it comes to having any kind of a sugary rich food. Because of course we need glucose for quick energy, but when it comes to refined sugar, it's not at all good. So similarly, having processed foods are not good for anyone. So anything which is bad, which is not coming from the nature, it's coming from a plant is a factory. That will never be good for your gut health. So make sure whenever you eat anything, it's coming from nature. You're cooking it at home, maybe in any form. For suppose people feel like, if you have vegetable chips instead of having a whole vegetable, it will give you same nutrients. No, it's not. The moment you put anything in a machine, the nutrients are depleted. So for stretched food, it's never a good idea. Lastly, probiotics and prebiotics. So we all know what is probiotics. Prebiotics we don't know. So probiotics are the food which feeds on our good bacteria, and prebiotics are the thing which bacteria eat and then they work. So if I have to give you simple examples, like if you eat curd, if you eat sourdough bread, or if you eat any kind of fermented food, they are all probiotics which will give which will help good bacteria to work. But to initially work, these prebiotics need to have energy. So banana is one of the example of prebiotics. So you can have prebiotics in your daily diet, which also make sure that the good bacteria have good energy. So they are like, if you can say, it's like a pre-workout, and probiotics are like post-workout for a good healthy digestive system. So these are the few examples of having things to eat, and these are easily available in your kitchen. These are not like something you have to go out and buy it. So if you add these things in a daily diet, no matter how bad your gut health is, you will be feeling better with your gut health. Now moving to the next diet, if we go to the next slide, Now, these are very small but very practical eating tips, which you can have it in your office, which you can have it in your home, and also if you're traveling. 3 steps, and your half of the work is done. Number one, very important, chew food. Chew as much as you can. Don't rush, don't bundle up. Digestion starts in the mouth first, then go to the body. So when you have a habit of gulping, in this fast-paced world, when people, just eat quickly and grab a bite and go, or have a takeaways, or you just watch something and eat it. That's not gonna work because it takes 21 minutes for our brain to decide are you full or not full. To the people who have a habit of eating early, who eat so fast, their digestion is not completed. They don't eat properly. Their nutrients are not absorbed. So at least you need to make sure you have 20 to 30 minutes for your food, no matter it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner. The more time you take to eat food, the more better it's digested well in your body. Don't rush. Just establish a mindful eating habit. Savor each and every flavor. You should be aware what you are eating. People, it's very easy to grab a sandwich or burger and rush, but it's also important to have a meal that's peacefully without any distractions of mobile phones, laptops, television, nothing. When you eat, your focus should be only on the food, nothing else. That's how your body understands what you're eating. Everything falls into the same place. But when you have a distraction when you eat, that's how the digestion doesn't work. And when digestion doesn't work in the mouth, it won't affect the whole body. It's very important to have, a proper digestion system when you're eating. And last and very important thing that the Japanese strategy is to, which is called as arahachibu, which means stop when you are 80% full. You don't have to stuff it like that. The moment you feel, you guys are full, then you don't have to overeat. Now, how do we know that? So suppose if you have a tendency to eat 3 chapatis in a time, you can start with having just 2 chapatis and stop it then and there. You should cut it off your original meal portion from 100% to maybe 90 or 80%. Similarly, if you feel you have, 2 handfuls of rice, you can have 1 handful of rice and stop it. Maybe if you feel hungry, then you can eat it after some time, but not every one. So, and that will prevent you with from 2 things. Either one, you don't overeat. Second, you will not feel sluggish because the moment you feel you're full till throat, then your energy level crashes because the digestion takes time. Vacuum must be there, right? But it's when it fill your stomach, then then the digestion doesn't work. It's very important to understand that don't be overfilled. Now going to the next slide. Well, hydration and digestion let's go hand in hand. Because we all know how much important is water for our body. So when it comes to water, it's very important to understand that your digestion works with a amount of water you drink in a day. Your blood flow works with light amount of water. So, and it also not only makes your food digested well, it also have a good digestion system. Just give me a moment. Yeah. So the moment you have a good amount of water, your digestion systems work smoothly, your blood flow is regular, and it must be amazing for you to understand that water helps in the amount of digested. The food you eat gets digested well with the right amount of water you drink. So, the people who feel they're not drinking enough of water often leads with a lot of constipation issues, acidity issues, bloating issues, just because of lack of water in their daily diet. So it's very important to have right amount of water in your regular routine because having the right amount of water not only prevents you from constipation, from dehydration, from acidity, but also from overeating, from severe headaches, fatigueness, because water is the main reason for blood flow in the body. So hydration and digestion goes hands in. Now, another example, you can have a lot amount of good hydration is, for a good health is to have a warm water, maybe in the morning, empty stomach with some lemon. It suits your gut, creates a protective lining. and makes your body in an alkaline mode because our body is very acidic when we get up in the morning. So it's one of the best tips. If you can't do anything in the morning, just have this thing in the morning, and then your gut supports your overall health, which no matter detoxifies your liver, but also improves your gut health at a good way. So hydration and digestion work hand in hand when it comes to a proper good health. If you go to the next slide, we have talked about nutrition, we have talked about the hydration, but the most important thing which includes both of them is the movement and your gut health. People who have sedentary lifestyle, and I'm sure like people be working in long corporate hours, stressful environments, don't have time to go for the exercise or for the gyms and all, but still, when it comes to good gut health, your movement matters a lot. Regular physical activity boosts your digestive system. And if I give you small experience, it's 10 15 minutes of a normal regular walk or brisk walk after a meal helps you to digest the food better, have good absorption, and also your and blood sugar level will not spike up because when you're meant to eat, your body is digesting, but also you're not feeling sluggish because you're having a walk. So a small brisk walk after your meal, be it lunch, be it dinner, is always better for your gut health and for your digestive system. And if you can't do much, you can only start with few things like stretching on your work tables. You can do some yoga poses, which includes really leading for splits and some shoulder stretch, some neck stretches. These are all wonderful for your everyday movement levels. And it will strengthen your core. And when your core is strengthened, your gut health is good. So any kind of a movement is good for your digestive system. And one more example when I say about the good gut health is, when you move, when you do some kind of walking, your blood circulation is very high. The more faster your blood circulation is, the more good your entire body metabolism is, results in good digestive system, with good nutrition absorption, and also overall health. So movement with gut health is always better to have. Going to the next slide. Now, this is something that I believe is a major problem in today's world. Stress and sleep management. I'm sure everyone will say, yes, this is a really part side, but most of us don't know that how stress affects our gut health. Chronic stress, regular stress, everyday stress, any form of stress will lead to upset of digestive system and also leads to poor immunity because when you stress, your cortisol level is high. Cortisol is a stress hormone. When it is high, our entire immune system is in a problem. Okay, I have to explain you in a layman term. When you are in a stress, okay, your immunity cells feel there's a threat to our body. Entire immunity cells works towards that threat to make sure the cortisol level is low. In that terms, the entire focus on digestion, your energy and nutrition is gone because that time your immunity cells are not working on the digestive system. They're working on your stress levels. So the more you take stress, the more you do overthinking, the more you do lack of sleeping, the more you do, other things. Your good bacteria are focusing to make you at normal pace, not at stress level, which interrupts with your digestive system, which interrupts with your immunity cells, which interrupts with your metabolism, and also which interrupts with your overall health problems. So having a right stress management and your symptom management is very crucial, and which is also one of the reasons people who think they will not sleep in the night and sleep in the day will have a longer term of poor immunity because night sleep is the biological clock. And if you don't work if you work against your biological sleep, like not sleeping in the night, but sleeping in the day, in longer term, your body will have a choice because your body is designed to sleep with the sun. The moment the sun goes down, automatically we have, the night sleep time when you feel lazy and all. But the moment if you push yourself for late night sleep, early morning wake up, and then trying to sleep in the daytime or odd timings of the day, it is not how the biological sleep works in your body. So it is designed in that way. The moment the sun goes down, our stress levels are at the low phase. Your cortisol is low, your dopamine is high, giving you a feeling of sleeping. But when people go beyond their sleep time, that will automatically affect their digestive system. So sleep stress management is very important for a good, gut health. Some common things which everyone can do is just doing some deep breathing when you have a stress, take a deep breath, go for a walk in nature, especially because nature walks are very good. Have some kind of good conversation with your friends so that you are not even much stressed. But having a long-term stress in your daily life is always harmful for your, gut health and for your digestive system and for your overall health and immunity. Having a stress and sleep management is very crucial in your daily life. Next, if we go to, can we have a next slide? Okay, now this is something very easy, doable, and for all the people who are working and watching this. Um, this is a very common thing which most of the people fail. That is snacking time, evening time, when you have a craving to have the tea, and with tea it comes to a lot of food. You munch on nuts, you munch on fried food, you munch on namkeens, you munch on biscuits, you munch on fried stuff. That is the time your body is not supporting well with digestion because as the sun goes down, your digestive system is poor. So evening after sunset or maybe around 6, 7 o'clock, when you have a craving for unhealthy food, that is the time when you have to eat the right food, which will focus on your, overall health. Now, the best example which you can take it when it comes to snacking is have nuts, mixed nuts, any nuts. If you're allergic to any one nut, you can opt for another nut. There are a lot of nuts like almonds, walnuts. You can have pecans, you can have hazelnuts, macadamia, seeds, any kinds of seeds. Have a mix of it, keep it in your bag, and eat it when you have a break. Second are the fruits, any kind of a fruit. Fruits has to be anything seasonal. I'd never favor anything which is, fancy. Anything in season is always good to eat, in the evening time. And fermented snack, which we have already discussed. You can have fermented things like you can have buttermilk, you can have kombuchas, you can have sourdough, you can have kefir, or if I talk about the local things, you can have kanjis, you can have, other fresh things which you can easily have as a snack, or you can also have idli, dahi bada. These are all fermented, which are good for your gut health. So these are the basic things which you can have it as office friendly snack. Now, second important thing, never ever have lunch in your workplace, which I said because of the mindfulness. The moment you are eating food in front of your system, you don't know what you are eating, you don't know how much you are eating, you don't realize how much full you are. The moment you take your lunch away from your desk space, your focus is only on the food. That's how you understand the food you are eating is nourishing you, the food you are eating is making you feel full, it's making you satisfied. It's very important to not to eat with your workplace. It's very crucial to eat food which is away from your workplace. Third, always and always stay active. When it comes to activity level, I never say people to go to the gym. There are so many other options to be active. You can always use walking as a thing. Nowadays, you can always have a step count in your phones so that you make sure at least you have 5K steps in a day. Instead of elevators, you can use staircases, and instead of escalators, you can also use staircases to your workplace, to your house, or anywhere you go. And you can also do a lot of walking inside your building, with your workplace building, or anywhere. Uh, Going to and fro is always the best idea. So overall, the more you are active in a day, the more you are having a good amount of digestive system and a good lifestyle. So staying active during the day is always a good idea. You can start your day with a brisk walk, a jogging, or any kind of activity. Lastly, herbal tea in the evenings. When you crave for sugary stuff, when you crave for sugary tea coffee, the best thing is to have is herbal tea. Why? Because by the evening, all the tea have nicotine, coffee has caffeine. These are not good for your health. And when you have tea coffee in the evening, you can't sleep at night peacefully. So after 5 p.m., it's not advisable to have tea or coffee because the nicotine and caffeine content will make it very tough to sleep. But if you feel you can have energy drinks, for synthetic energy, then they are the more dangerous thing because not only it has sugar, but it has also amount of additives and sweeteners which are very harmful for your body. Like say they have taurine, they have sucralose, they have artificial sweeteners, they have modifiers, they have a lot of other things which are not good. Even if you feel like you have Coke, Diet Coke, Zero Coke, or any kind of packaging, everything has a lot amount of caffeine. The moment you have caffeine after sunset, you can't have sleep. And when your sleep is in the toss, your gut has already have a problem. So make sure you have anything non-caffeinated after the sunset. So these are the basic tips. If you follow them, you will see that it's very easy to manage your, gut health with a proper, lifestyle and really nice meal plan. You go to the next slide. Okay, so since we are at the end of the phase, I just want to take a quick time to just brief it up what exactly we have, I talked about, this gut health is first is the nutrition. The moment you eat good food, it will automatically give signals to your brain for, good sleep habits. Now, just to demonstrate these things, I have a very one quick example that you guys have noticed, right? When you eat you start with the day with a healthy breakfast, let's suppose, then you will automatically not have any cravings, that or feeling to have unhealthy. But when you start your day with something really unhealthy in the morning, maybe, a takeaway or anything quick, or just skip your breakfast, your lunch will never be healthy. Either you overeat or you make any unhealthy choice because your stomach was empty. It's not in the right stage to make a right decision and it's feeded with bad food. So your decision making is already spoiled because of the food you had before. So the food you eat now will affect the food choice you're gonna make next year. It's very important. Even if you had a bad one meal, make sure the other meal should not be bad. Because if that meal is also bad, the entire day will be having a lot of bad choices for you and for your health. So that to make sure, like, you should have a consistency when it comes to meals. Another example is if you guys have noticed when you are not sleeping, when you have lack of sleep, the more thing which you crave on is the caffeine, a lot of tea, coffee. If you don't have a good sleep at night, next morning you will have a lot of tea, coffee just to wake you up instead of having good healthy breakfast. Second thing, you will be binging much on sugary stuff or quick energy because we all know glucose gives you a quick energy. So these are the examples of picking wrong examples, wrong choices for your health. Meanwhile, you know that having tea, coffee, empty stomach is not good. Having cookies in the morning is not good. Having sweets, an empty stomach is not good. But you can't do anything because your stomach gives a message to your brain for wrong signals. So what you eat will affect your brain. That brain will give you wrong signals. You pick wrong choices. So that's why I always say don't eat for excitement, eat for your gut health. When you eat for the right gut health, you will make right choices. Automatically, your overall health will not be the struggle. So, and all the components for right gut health, I have already shared, which includes fermented food, fiber, whole grains, which is a part of fruits and vegetables, proteins, complex carbohydrates, probiotics, prebiotics. These are all our example with includes through hydration, sleep, stress management, and also a lot of movement and activity levels. So if you guys feel that there is still something to ask, feel free to ask me anything because this is just a example to explain how important is gut health. If you have any doubts, please tell me. Mm, Or fiber supplements like Salem has got specific brands of prebiotics like Yakult, good for you, or bad. So, Sanjay. Okay, so Yakult is very famous for for your health, but Yakult has good amount of sugar in it. I'm not a a person who will support any kind of a supplement, especially Yakult, because Yakult has even if it has good probiotics and prebiotics, but it has a lot of amount of sugar. So again, sugar in any form is not good. Sucralose again not good. So it's not good idea. If you want to have psyllium has is good as a fiber supplement, but why don't you have fiber from other things like chia seeds, basil seeds? These are natural forms, or you can have it from whole grains like oats. You can have it from whole grain like dalia, which is easily available in India, and from vegetables. All vegetables, green vegetables have good amount of fiber. So if you have, fiber from these natural sources, it's always good. And similarly for, yeah, prebiotics and probiotics, if you want to have these things from natural food sources, they are way safer for you because nature comes with guarantee, but anything with the supplement has an expiry date. So don't trust anything which is, tagged. That is my suggestion to you. Hope that makes it clear. Welcome. Okay, so someone has wanted Dinesh now for sprouts, sprouted raw or cooked. Okay, so thanks, Dinesh. It's a very interesting question which you have asked. Sprouts should never be eaten raw because raw sprouts are very tough to digest. The best form to eat sprouts is in the cooked form. Boiled form, it's best. So you can boil sprouts before eating. Never ever have sprouts raw. Similarly, there are certain vegetables you should never eat raw, like carrots, like broccoli, like spinach. It should be cooked because then when you eat raw, it's not digested well in your body, and undigested food will always lead to indigestion problems. So don't have sprouts raw. Have it in a cooked form. How much warm water to be taken during early morning? You can easily have up to two glasses of warm water in the morning. That's a good enough. Rest you can have a normal water. What is your opinion about dairy foods? Well, I am a firm believer that dairy products are really good if you are getting it in a natural form. Like, make sure the dairy products you take are good. I mean, they are not adulterated because there are a lot of adulteration in the dairy foods. So if you have dairy and if it's suiting you, you're not lactose intolerant, then you must have dairy. It's really rich in calcium and vitamin D. So dairy in the form of yogurt, cottage cheese, milk is really nice to have it. So you can have dairy in your daily diet. Fasting and intermittent fasting, it depends how you want to do. Fasting is good if you do it in the right way. Like if you have fasting mode from morning till evening, it's good. But if you feel to have evening, if you start from afternoon and you go till later, it's not good. Because fasting means you eat with the sun, you end with the sun, but not like anytime you can do that. So we'd be fasting or intermittent fasting, go with the sun, go with the nature. I do breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Well, it varies. Like, you are a vegetarian or a non-vegetarian, but ideally your breakfast, lunch, and dinner comprises of five elements, which includes, of course, protein, healthy amount of complex carbohydrate, fruits, vegetables, and yeah, of course, good healthy fats. If you're a vegan, so you can have good amount of protein sources from tofu, lentils, legumes as in like chickpeas, beans, these forms, vegetables also. Like you can have a lot of vegetables, and in carbohydrates you can always take whole grains, which includes millets, rice, broken wheats, and quinoa and oats. A lot of options. So definitely, as a vegan, you can have a good amount of food because vegan always have one advantage that you are not consuming saturated fat, which is found in the non-veg like red meats and all. So as a vegan, you have good amount of food options. Finish. Okay, Sanjay Road, as a regular person who goes to gym, it's a good amount of fiber. Well, Sanjay, I appreciate you are doing eating well, Raj, and it's good. I hope you are eating chicken and eggs in a different time zone, so you don't combine eggs and chicken in one go because you can't combine two kind of similar protein in one time. So you can have chicken and egg whites separately. Papaya is good, green vegetables. Your diet looks good to me, but make sure you're hydrating well because if you have such high amount of protein and fiber in your diet, your hydration level should be at the top. So at least you should consume at least 2 to 3 liters of water every day so that your digestive system supports your, protein in your fiber. So to digest protein and fiber, you need to have up your water game. So yeah, that sounds great. You are eating enough good. And I'm sure you're pairing it up with good carbs because you don't need carbohydrates only in the base of protein and fiber. Carbohydrates are really building blocks of your diet. So make sure you eat a good amount of carbs. What should be a gap between getting up and taking breakfast? Well, ideally, you should eat breakfast within 2 hours of waking up. So not much more than because breakfast is the energy thing. If you are breaking the entire night fast, so make sure the moment you wake up, within 2 hours, you have your breakfast. And breakfast should be really big. Like eat breakfast like a king. It's not a thing, but it should be implemented as well. So, breakfast should be really, really heavy and it's good for your entire day. So eat breakfast, combining of entire five food groups which I have mentioned. So yeah, you should have it in that zone. For some people, wait till it should be 4 to 5 hours. No, it's not that. Uh,
Okay, so I think Priyanshi will be joining in a second. If you have any more questions, please put it on the chat, and once she joins, she'll be able to answer. Hi,
Hello, can you hear me? I think there was some, I don't know how it got disconnected.
that's all right. We got like a question.
Mm-hmm.
What should be the gap between getting up and taking breakfast? Some people tell it should be 4 to 5 hours. There's a
Mm-hmm.
criticism about dairy products.
So there's like, no, see again, it's a myth now. Dairy products is something which is very problematic for people because some people have lactose intolerance, like some people have gluten intolerance. So dairy is not a problem. If you can digest dairy well, you should have it. If you don't have issues with, digestion of any kind of a dairy product, then you can have it. If you feel you are not able to digest it, then you can avoid it. So it's a very personal thing, and it varies from person to person. And maybe the one reason why dairy has a lot of criticism is because it's a lot of adulteration in the dairy product, right? We have heard news of fake paneer and fake milk. As I said, if you find things which are authentic and if you're sure about who is giving it to you, then you must have dairy. But if you feel it's adulterated, then don't have it. So make sure whatever you have is in an authentic form. And I missed the last question about, I think, 4 5 hours. No, breakfast time. So breakfast should be only, between at least 2 to 3 hours, not more than that. Don't expend your time of breakfast. The moment you wake up, 2 hours, have a good meal. Else you will feel low in energy and tired. So don't delay your breakfast time. Don't delay any meal time. But make sure you have early dinners. That's very important. Is there any relation between alcohol and leaky gut? Absolutely. Alcohol always, creates a gut leaky because alcohol being, itself a dehydrating agent. So when you have alcohol, it impacts your gut lining and it will, one thing, feeds on your bad gut bacteria and it kills your good gut bacteria. So it affects your gut in a way that your immune system is weakened. Your good gut bacteria gets, good bacteria in your gut will automatically be gone and feeds more on your bad gut bacteria. And it will poor your metabolism and it will play with your overall health system. So, of course, there is a definitely alcohol have a direct impact on your gut because it will kill your gut lining. And when your gut lining is killed, your digestion is always on the toss. Uh, due- Dairy is criticized due to casein. See, casein is healthy. No, so again, oh God. So dairy has not a criticism for casein. Casein, if people who are into fitness industry know how important casein is. Casein protein is readily available in the market because casein is really good for your body. So casein has no harmful effect until and unless you are not lactose intolerant. Even if you are, you can have dairy in the form of fermentation like yogurts, curd. They in that way that casein is removed. So if even if you're diagnosed with casein as a food intolerance or allergy, then you should not have dairy. But if you are not even diagnosed, then don't remove that food group from your diet. I hope that's clear to you, Dinesh. Is there any other doubts with you're welcome. But don't cut dairy from your diet if you're not lactose intolerant or if you are not having any kind of a problem when you consume dairy in the form of bloating or any kind of indigestion issues. Until and unless you're good to go.
Okay, I'm not sure if we missed it or I missed it. Should we have fruits first thing in the morning?
Fruits. See, the best time to consume fruits is after a meal, not before the meal. Reason: fruits have fructose. Sugar early morning in the body will spike your insulin level and which will feed blood sugar spike. So fruit should not be taken early morning. The best time to have fruits is after your meal, when your stomach has something, and then your blood sugar will not spike.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
All right. Thank you so much, Priyanshi. We have a
Okay.
question from Dinesh.
I have not taken any dairy for years. However, I do not have any such issues with dairy. That's okay, Dinesh. I think that's your personal preference. But till the time you don't have any issue with dairy, then you must give it a try because dairy has good amount of vitamin D and calcium. Nowadays, people have lot of vitamin D deficiency. So if if you don't have deficiency, it's well and good. But if you have, if you feel that dairy is good for you, then do have it. Yeah, sunlight has vitamin D, but sunlight UV rays are also not sometimes not no long-term exposure of sunlight. You can't take it for your skin. But it's as I said, it's totally personal preference. If you don't want to have dairy, there's no pressure. But dairy is not bad, in short. I think we are done with the questions.
Yes, yes, Priyanshi.